What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today is the Memphis Cities round 2, and I think this time around we have Jim Jones versus Nick Givens, Preston Givens, whatever you want to call him. Now, Nick is part of Team C, which we have talked about a couple times if you watched our interviews. He's from Memphis. I didn't talk about John and Scott. John is originally from Memphis, but now lives in Murfreesboro, or Nashville area, while not John. Scott also lives in the Nashville area as well. That's how they know each other. And this time we have Jim on the left. He is from Alabama, so we see some Alabama players coming up to Memphis cities. And Nick is from Memphis, like I said. Part of Team C crew, which we interviewed a couple people with. Hayden, we've done John, some other people we see at the city promo coming out. Now, if I remember correctly, on the left, we will see a Seismitoad Giratina deck versus a... I think Nick is playing Mega Manectric, and we see Nick on his phone. Nick, who are you texting right now? He's on Snapchat. Oh man, maybe he's Snapchatting me. Snapchat at Marking22. Or it looks like he's texting somebody. We're gonna find out together what Nick is doing. What is the hold up right now? I should have probably figured out what was going on. But this is going to be an interesting matchup because we know that Jim has Giratina, which can basically, negate Mega Manectric, and we see that Jim starts his Seismitoad. And the thing here is Giratina enough to stop this Seismitoad deck? We see a judge getting out of this not TV reporter. Sorry, TV reporter was last game. From Trainer's Mail. There we go. Once again, the glare is there, but we're gonna try to fight through it. Let's see what Jim has. Got an escape rope, a shaman, and a crushing hammer. We see shaman come down. Doesn't have anything. Super scoop up. I'm not sure what that is. It looks like a tails. I never know what the one, like, the thing is on. The one, I guess, is the correct thing, or the 6. Is that the 1 or the 6? The logo, I guess. The one I play on is always on a 6, and I confuse people a lot. It looks like we see a Hex Maniac from Jim, and just a pass. Oh, buddy, that's not a good turn 1. We see a Red Ice coming from Nick, a Lightning Energy, a Battle Compressor. Going to discard maybe some supporters and or energies. We see a Water getting discarded. Looks like he might be eyeballing the Mega Manectric and Spirit Link. That'd be kind of strange. We see another Water Energy getting discarded. And an AZ. Maybe Nick was just seeing how many Manectric and Spirit Links are in the deck. I'm not sure what he was eyeballing. But, so he discards 2 Waters and an AZ. Maybe Nick already has like a Sycamore in his hand. And yep, Sycamore discarding a Articuno and an Escape Rope. And let's see, does Nick have a Spirit Link right now? I imagine the Seismitoad Giratina deck is playing like Headringers, which could be bad for this Mega Manectric player. We see an Ultra Ball discarding a Rough Seas and a Judge. You really don't want to put that down in this matchup because Seismitoad can start using your own Rough Seas to heal him. We're going to see a Shaman drawing, I think, 3 cards? Nope, we're just going to see an Overrun 20 and 20. Maybe Nick, I don't know, we don't call him Nick or Preston, I'm not sure what he call him. But we see a Crushing Hammer. Looks like Jim is like really bad at flipping stuff. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, there we go. I think 4th time was charm. What's it saying about Nick anymore? I don't remember anymore. Oh, Nick was probably playing the Ultra Ball to get out the Shaman, so that way, if Jim does get a DCE to Quake Punch, he can leave Shaman to draw some more cards. That was probably the thought process behind that. Now we see another Judge from Jim. And Jim's going to need a DCE this turn, or he's going to be in trouble. So both players are going to get 4. We see a Headringer, an Ultra Ball, a Muscle Band. Looks like we see an Ultra Ball discarding a Muscle Band and a Crushing Hammer, probably getting out another Shaman to draw 6 more cards. And that's a really cool combo right there. Like, always just, judging you and your opponent down to 4, and then if you can draw to Shaman, you can Shaman up to 6. And then if you can item lock them, you're in better situation. So we're going to see 6 cards come from Jim. Let's see. Oh, buddy, that is another Headringer come down to the bench Mega Manectric. We see a Super Scoop Up. Let's see what Jim. Nope, Tails. Okay. A Silent Lab coming down to shut down Shamans. Nick picked up the Silent Lab to see what it did. That's never good for when you had to read what cards do. We see Assault Vest going down to Regice, making it where it does -40 if there's a special energy attached to the active Pokemon that attacks you. So that way Quick Punch would do 0 damage if there's not a Muscle Band on it. And we see Nick fill the Trainer's Mail. Must be no good mail in there. Must be, just all spam or something. We're going to see a Lightning Energy going on to Manectric. Never mind. Lightning on a Regice. We're going to see, looks like a Sycamore. Going to discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. Um, I'm not sure what Nick can do this turn. Maybe Mega Manectric. Yep. So Mega Manectric to end his turn. And Nick's debating. Okay, Battle Compressor, good play. Discard probably some item cards out of his deck. Okay, Hex Maniac. And anything else? Nope, just the Hex Maniac. Alright, maybe Nick's like, alright, everything else in my deck is really good. And we're just going to Mega Evolve to end our turn, giving us free retreat for the next turn. On to Jim's turn. Let's see what he does. It looks like Jim's in a bad spot. I think he has like a Hoopa, maybe a Team Flare Grunts. What just happened here? I don't know. Okay, so Xerosic. Looks like a Team Flare Grunt. Is it Nick's turn? Okay, so it's Nick's turn. I missed something, and the video goes too fast. Oh, maybe just Jim didn't have anything, and his turn was just a draw pass. And did he just draw a bunch of cards with Shaman, but not put on the bench? What just happened there? Why did he draw 6 cards? I'm so confused. What card did he play? I want to know what card he played. I don't know. I can't tell. All right. Okay, so we see Team Flare Gut discarding a Water Energy. Man, okay, so turns are going really that fast. Okay, so what happened here is we probably just saw like a Lightning attachment, another Lightning attachment, and then a Water attachment. And we saw Resistance Blizzard, bringing him up to 90. Okay, we see a Birch. We see a Manectric EX coming down, a Spirit Link going down to it. And just a pass from Nick, so no Water Energy. Okay, I think we're good now. We're going to see a Giratina from Jim. And it looks like Jim doesn't still have anything. We see a Fade of Town. Going to start putting 20 damage on each of those Manectric EXs. And a Sycamore. Okay, so there we go. Discarding a Hoopa and some other stuff. Alright, so we're good to go. Now we see Jim finally gets down to DC, but his Shaman, or his Toad in the X-Spot has a head ringer on it. Okay, Tails. I think Jim's like 0 for 3 on like on super scoop ups right now. But on the next turn, let's see what happens. We see a Sycamore. I wish we could see Nick's discard pile. We see another head ringer coming down. That's great. Both players playing head ringers. And we see Manectric EX taking some more damage. Does that far left Mega Manectric have any damage on it? I think it should. That minute. Oh, there we go. Okay. We caught it. Alright, so on to Jim's turn. We see a DC in his hand. He could. Well, he can't attach to the active. We see a DC going to the bench Toad. Or, nope, to the Giratina Toad. I don't know where it's going. To the Giratina. Okay. We see a Verse Seeker. Nope, we don't see a Verse Seeker. I'm so confused. Let's see what he goes for. What card will he go for? Verse Seeker? Alright, I like it. For Sycamore, going to discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. Alright. Is that a Tool Retriever in his hand? Maybe I'm just seeing things. I thought I saw a Tool Retriever in Jim's hand. Let's see what Jim... Okay, just a pass from Jim. Everybody takes some more damage. Now, next turn, we might actually see Jim attack for his first time. Maybe. Alright, so we see a Trainer's Mail. It doesn't look like he got anything. Ultra Ball, discarding Ultra Ball and Hex Maniac. Looks like Nick doesn't really have anything to get. It looks like Nick's like ran through his deck pretty quickly by playing all those Sycamores. We see a Shaman going to draw up to 6. Yeah, that's a lot of cards in Nick's discard pile. Okay. Alright, so we see 6 cards in Nick's hand. Does he have a Water Energy to use Resistance Blizzard this turn? And a Lightning Energy going to Manectric EX. And just another pass. Alright, so we haven't seen anybody really attack this game. We just seen a lot of passing. We see a Trainer's Mail from Jim. Going to look at the top 4 cards of his deck. Pick a trainer card. Getting that Verse Seeker. Maybe he has AZ in the discard pile. He could pick up the active Toad and then attach the DCE and start swinging. Oh, buddy. Will we see that happen or not? We'll find out today in Pokemon.com land. Will Jim ever attack? Look, is that a Latios in Jim's hand? Jim plays Latios, the one that does 40 for Psychic Energy, I'm pretty sure. And with the Muscle Band 60, could knock out and Dog Pumpkin Boost. That's pretty cute. We see a Verse Seeker. Let's see what he grabs. A Xerosic. Entering the head ringer off the active. It looks like we might see a DC on the active. Alright, so we're going to see Jim attack for the first time in this game. And It doesn't do anything because it's Soul Fist. Alright, fantastic. And did anybody take damage? I don't know if those... Did those Manectrics take damage? I'm not sure if they took damage or not. I don't know. I can't tell. Everything's going too fast. Alright, we see a Rough Seas coming down from Nick's side. Going to heal 30 from everything. I'm pretty sure, like, Jim would, like, make sure he used the Fate of Town. And we see that Nick only has 2 prize cards. And we see another pass. Alright. Why did he license up the Giratina? So confused right now. Okay, whatever. I would have licensed up like the other Seismitoad without I don't know. I'm not sure who I would have brought up. But we see a DC be attached to Giratina. We see a Super Scoop Up, Heads picking up a Shaman. And let's see what gem it does. We see an Ultra Ball discarding an Enhanced Hammer and a Latios. I mean, there's really no need for either one of those. I don't think Nick plays any... Wait, does he play DCE? I don't think he plays DCE. We saw back-to-back Manectric games, so I'm not sure if this one plays DCE. Alright, so we see Jim not get anything. We see he has a Shaman as well. So Shaman, go and draw some more cards. He's probably looking for any kind of stadium to bump this Rough Seas so those Manectric EXs will stop taking hits. That's what I would think. That's what I would think, but nope, we're just going to see a Chaos Will for 60. Alright, and we see a Verse Seeker from Nick. Not sure what he grabbed. An AZ, yep, so an AZ. Bringing up this Mega Manectric. We see a Regice coming down. And we're going to see a Rough Seas healing all those Pokemon down. And we're going to see a Turbo Bolt putting 2 energies on that Regice. But Nick only has 1 prize card left in his deck. He might just deck out here. Man, this game's been kind of unexciting. Very unexciting. But we see another Rough Seas, and we see Nick's Scoop. I guess Nick realizes he can't win the game. Okay. Alright, so in the game 2, hopefully I can pay a little bit more attention. That middle game where they were just kind of like just draw past and like neither one was kind of doing anything went by so fast. Like we have it set for 2 times speed, so that way you know, like right now for the shuffling and the deck shuffles and searching their deck, we might bump it down to 1.5. Maybe that'll be something we have to look into. I'm not sure what the best speed is, but I definitely like the 2.0. So that way, like right now while we're shuffling, but what can happen in this matchup? I am not sure because neither player really did anything. I mean, Jim was kind of stuck there, not ever attacking. Got rid of Nick's like water energies, making it where he couldn't ever resist his Blizzard. It was just an awkward situation. I don't know. I mean, so at Jim's side, he wants to get the Giratina out, making it where the Mega Manectrics can't attack him. But on Nick's side, he wants to get out the Regice as quick as possible because Jim doesn't really have an answer besides, you know, just discard his energies and hopefully he doesn't draw into them to power up that Regice. Like, that's Jim's only hope. But we see Nick start with Shaman. Oh, no. That's who you never want to start with Shaman. That's your baby. You don't want to start with him. We see a Battle Compressor from Nick going to discard 3 cards out of his deck. And let's see what he decides to discard. A Hex Maniac? There's got to be more than that. Come on now. A Water Energy and an AZ. Okay, so he must have a Sycamore already in his hand. Looks like we're seeing an Ultra Ball fist to come out to play. An Ultra Ball discarding a Lysander and a Lightning, probably grabbing, okay, a Manectric. An Ultra Ball discarding a Giovanni's Scheme? I think that's what it is. I'm not sure on the full art, but that definitely looks like a Giovanni Scheme, kind of purple, bluish kind of color. Okay, so we see setup for 6. That's a pretty good turn 1. A Link coming down as well, so that way he doesn't have to worry about Headringers. We see an Ultra Ball discarding a Judge. And an Articuno, I hope that's not a Regice. Getting another Manectric out. Yeah, okay, an Articuno. Just making sure. Okay. Alright. So let's see what Nick does. Oh, he Super Rotted the Lightning, 2 Lightning into the Articuno. Okay, that makes a lot of sense why he discarded all those energies. Well, I mean, he didn't really have a choice regardless. And we see a Sycamore, so Nick's turn is just still just going on forever. We see an Articuno that he probably just super out of the back of the deck, come back into it. We see another Headringer, a Lightning Energy coming down, Salt Vest going down to the Articuno. And play the Battle Compressor. Nope, don't play the Battle Compressor. Okay, whatever. On to Jim's turn. I would say play the Battle Compressor, so that way you have one less item card in your deck. We see Zerosic get rid of the Headringer, or not the Headringer, the Manectric Spirit Link to put down a Headringer, and we just see a pass from Jim. Alright, Jim, you're doing really good at Pokemon this time around. We see a Battle Compressor, discarding a Battle Compressor, an Articuno, and that's pretty much it, just those two cards. So Nick does play two Articunos in his list. I guess to help out against Night March. We see a Manectric come down and a Sycamore discarding his hand, draws 7 cards. Now, Nick's going to have to watch out. We saw Nick last turn basically deck out because he drew through his deck so quickly, and looks like he's doing the same thing here as well. It makes me question, does Nick play like Birch or anything? We see a Lightning going on Manectric. We see a Trainer's Mail. Grabbing nothing. Okay. And let's see. I mean, Nick needs to Mega Evolve right now. Looks like we see a Verse Seeker, probably getting out of Sycamore. Yeah, Nick, it doesn't seem like Nick plays any kind of like Birch or like even Shauna or, oh man, I don't even want to say Shauna, but like you want to play that instead of like Sycamore and your whole deck away. I think he does play Judge, but like Judge is like such a bad card in the situation. We see a Lysander bringing up Articuno, and just a pass. Okay, all right. On the next turn, we're gonna see a Lightning Energy going down to the Manectric EX with the Spirit Leak. Let's see an Ultra Ball, probably grabbing a Mega Manectric, gonna evolve it. Unless Nick plays Mega Turbos, he can attack this turn if he gets a switch. And we see another Sycamore from Nick, gonna discard his hand once again, draws 7 cards. Man, Nick is just flying through his deck. Doesn't even care about anything. Well, it looks like we're just going to see another pass. Like I said, unless Nick plays Mega Turbos, he could Mega Turbo onto the Manectric EX. But it looks like we're not going to see that. It looks like we saw a Verse Seeker for an AZ. We see a Trainer's Mail. Look at the top 4 cards of Jim's hand. And grabbing the Fate Town. So that way the Mega Manectric will start taking 20 damage. But we know that Nick plays multiple Rough Seas. I'm not sure how many he's discarded, though. He has discarded a lot of cards already with that Sycamore, which is not great at all. Especially in Pokemon where you kind of want to serve your resources. We see a Faded Town come down. And we see a pass. Alright, so the Mega Manectric takes 20 damage. And on to Nick's turn. He's got the Escape Rope. Going to set up that Manectric EX. We're going to see a Rough Seas. Going to bump that. So we can see the Rough Seas start healing 30 from each of Nick's Water and Lightning Pokemon. And it looks like Nick's going... Oh, there we go. He did Rough Seas. Okay, I was going to say, don't forget the Rough Seas. Oh, he actually can't attack right now. Okay, he doesn't have energy. So we see a Team Flare Gun discarding a Lightning Energy off the active and on to the next turn. This is a very exciting game right now. We see a third Lightning. No, we don't. Never mind. Okay, we see an energy going on to Articuno. I would actually start... I don't know if I want to attack or not. So Jim's doing great so far. He's got like 3 double Dragon Energies in his hand. He's got that Verse Seeker for Lysander where he could bring up anybody the following turn if Nick decides to use Articuno's attack. But it looks like Jim is such in bad shape right now. Like, obviously, because, I mean, he hasn't played a Sporter. But, I mean, if Jim draws a single Pokemon, he is in this game. And he can kind of just, like, stall, making where Nick kind of just decks out. Because he has so many cards already in his discard ball. So that's a bad thing. Looks like we'll see a Verse Seeker for a Lysander. Bringing up Shaman, making him cost another energy to retreat it. I don't know if Jim played that pretty like early, because now he can just do what he did. We knew he had the AC in hand because he Verse Seeker for it. We see another Verse Seeker for AC, and we're going to use Tri-Edge. It does 40 and 20 for each heads, and it looks like it did 80 or 60. But all Jim has to do is Rough Seas. Oh, there's a Sycamore for Jim. There we go. All right, party time. All right, so finally Jim is in this game, but he can easily just deck out Nick now. We see Crushing Hammer, Tails. He does have Silent Lab, but I don't know if it's worth putting it down right now. We see a Giratina come down, Ultra Ball, discarding a Silent Lab, and a Verse Seeker, probably grabbing a Shaman and or a Hoopa. Either one could be a possibility. Well, let's see what he goes. Okay, another Seismitoad. Okay, that's not what I thought. Maybe he already has Shaman in his hand, and he doesn't want to put one down. There's the Seismitoad. Shaman, okay, so there you go. He already had Shaman in his hand. Drawn up to 6. Alright. Super Scoop Up. Heads. Gonna pick up that Shaman. Gonna put it back down. Draw 1. and there's a DC, so we'll see a Quack for nothing. Okay, but now Nick can't use his trainers anymore. Looks like we're going to see a Shaman. No, we're not. We're not going to see a Shaman. And we're going to see another Tri-Edge, and it does 40? Yep. Alright, so we're going to see Rough Seas down to 20. Team Flare discarding another Water Energy, and we're going to see another Quack for nothing. We see a Professor. Oh, so Nick does play Professor Birch. And nope, just going to Mega Vault in Nick's turn. Okay. And Seismitoad comes down into play. There's the camera moving again. We see a Headringer going down to a Manectric EX with no tools, and a Sycamore discarding a Hoopa, a Hand Hammer, and something else. I didn't see what the last card was. Alright, but this game's been really exciting. Like, both these games are pretty boring, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's just, like, nothing really happening. But, I mean, Nick doesn't really have, like, that many cards left in his deck. We see a Crushing Hammer, Tails. Alright. And, we'll probably just see a Quack. I mean, can't really do anything else. I've seen Ultra Ball discarding a Giratina, and a Judge. Yeah, Jim definitely doesn't want to play Judge, because that means Nick can shuffle his hand back into his deck and draw 4 cards. So that's something you don't want to do if we're trying to go for the deck out mode right now. Looks like we'll see another Super Scoop Up. Okay, and a Shaman for 5. Now we see that Jim does have a Muscle Band. He could potentially put... Oh, we see double Crushing Hammer. So we can see a Crushing Hammer, probably discard and Lightning on the bench Manectric if he flips heads. What was I saying? Oh, if he touches the Muscle Band to Seismitoad, he can start punching the Articuno for 10. We see a Rough Sea, not a Rough Seas, a Crushing Hammer, discarding Lightning off the bench Mega Manectric, which I do like a lot, and a Quake Punch for 10. Alright, so we see a Birch from Nick. Now, does Nick really want to flip heads here is the big question. I think Nick's almost out of energies. We saw a bunch of Crushing Hammers, not Crushing Hammers, but Team Flagrant's Crushing Hammers, and we see Nick actually discard a bunch in the early game. And it looks like we see a Mega Manectric to end Nick's turn. Alright. Nick didn't even Rough Seas that last turn, or last turn, I don't think so. But we're going to see a Quick Punch from 50. But don't worry, Jim did not forget, and that Articuno still has 10 damage. We see a pass from Nick. Another Quake Punch, bringing it to 100. Okay, there we go. He finally Rough Seas the Articuno off. There we go. A pass from Nick, and, you know, right now, Jim's in the driver's seat. We're going to see a Quake Punch knocking out that Shaman EX, and now Nick's in big trouble because... I mean, that Mega Manectric has 2 energies on it. We're going to see pass or retreat, and which I like the retreat a lot because that makes it where Jim doesn't play, Team Flare Guns to discard energies off the active. But we're going to see a Quake Punch for 50. And then probably see a Rough Seas putting down to 20. We see a Water Energy going out to bench Manectric. And a pass. Yep, okay. So to Jim's turn. He needs to get this Giratina out, basically. But we see that Nick only has, like, 3 cards left in his deck, so he not looking good for Nick. And it looks like Nick might just deck out, especially if he's already played a lot of Verse Seekers. That means he can't use his Judge that we saw in his hand or in his discard pile. Okay, all right. So let's see what Jim does here. Is that Jim's hand? Is that Jim's hand? That is a really big hand. All right. So we see Trainer's Mail for 4. You definitely don't want to play that Judge that I saw him grab. Grab and Crushing Hammer, which is great. If he could play this right now, he probably just wins the game. And that's probably game there. I can't imagine Nick having any more energies. We see a Quick Punch for 50 on the Nick's turn, and we see Nick scoop the game. So, Seismitoad, oh my goodness, he has 2 DCs and a double Dragon Energy prize. But we see Nick kind of just lose to deck out. Ah, man. Maybe this is kind of a thing, like, don't burn through your deck so quick, because you might just lose. I don't know. This is a weird match for sure. Like, nothing really happened, which I'm not really sure who has the better matchup. I would think that Jim has the better matchup just because he has the Giratinas, and if Nick runs out of Verse Seekers, let me pause it real quick before we get to the end of the screen. If Nick, he does have Hex Maniac to shut off Giratina, but he only has it for so many turns because, Verse Seeker, you only have 4 of those. You have the 1 Hex, so that's 5 potential turns. But you got to use the other Verse Seekers to play supporter cards, so I'm not sure how the matchup goes. It doesn't seem like Nick had a Jirachi in his deck to actually counter the Seismitoad Giratina deck. So, I don't know if that's enough either. I don't know. But there we go. Round 2. Not very exciting. Nick basically decked out twice. So, Hopefully, round 3 will be a little bit more exciting. Both games are pretty long. They're both 50 plus minutes. This one was 50 right now, which means it was like 45 to 49 minutes because we started recording a little bit early for the round. But hopefully you enjoyed this round 2. If you have any suggestions, leave those down below in the comments. Hopefully you like these videos. I know this round wasn't too exciting, but thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you in round 3. I'm not sure who it is, but have a great day. Alrighty.